Hi guys, my name is Bill, and in this video I'm going to show you how to troubleshoot the water valve on your washer. Now the reason you would want to do this is if you have a machine that overfills with water, or maybe it's not filling at all. Now I just made a video last week on how to troubleshoot the pressure switch, so between this video and the pressure switch video, you should be able to diagnose any fill issues that you're having with your washer. Okay, so here's a real good look at the water valves on your washer. Here's the cooled water solenoid, here's the hot water solenoid. And on the back of the washer right here and here is where you connect your fill hoses. Now basically how these operate is when the water wants cooled water, 120 volts is applied to the cooled solenoid, and when it wants hot water, 120 volts gets applied to the hot water valve. When it wants warm water, both valves open up and then the water mixes and goes into the washer. Alright, so the first thing you want to do when you have a washer that won't fill is shut your water off at the faucet behind the washer, remove the hoses from the back, and make sure the screens aren't plugged up with debris. If you're on a well or just have a lot of hard water, the screens will plug up and water won't pass through. You'll turn the washer on to say cold fill or hot fill. You'll hear like a little humming sound, but no water comes in. That could also be water trickling in too. You could have plugged up screens in the back. So that's step number one that you want to check if you have a washer that will not fill. Pull the hoses off, make sure your screens are clean. Okay, so here's the back. I'm going to show you what the screens look like. Now you might have to use a pair of needle nose pliers to pull these out, and I've already pulled this one out and set it up so I could just easily remove it while you guys look. But that's what the screen looks like, and you can see that, you know, if too much debris got inside there, then the water of course can't get into the washer. So this would be step number one. Make sure these are clean. You can grab these with needle nose pliers, be careful not to damage them, and just kind of work them out. Run them under the sink, do whatever you got to do to clean them, and just snap them back in and push it all the way back in. Alright, so we just got done making sure the screens were clean. Now for the next test, we're going to have the machine plugged into the wall. You're going to have access to the water valves. The water's going to be turned on. Don't forget to do that. You're going to set the washer to fill with cold water. You're going to pull the knob out and see if it fills. If it fills now, great, you fixed the problem, you cleaned out the screens. But if it doesn't fill, we need to check for 120 volts at the cold water valve. So set it to cold water fill, pull the knob, attach your multimeter to both these terminals on the cool, just shove it into the end of the wire. If you have 120 volts and the washer is not filling, the valve's bad and it needs replaced. If you don't have 120 volts, then you may have a pressure switch issue. So I'm going to put a link to how to check that, so when you're done watching this video you can watch that one. So if you don't have 120 volts, you could have a pressure switch issue, so you want to check that. But if you do have 120 volts, you have a bad water valve and it needs replaced. The test for the hot water is going to be exactly the same. Set it to hot fill, pull the knob out, check for voltage. If you have voltage and it's not filling, the hot water valve's bad. If you don't have voltage, make sure the pressure switch is not the issue, and then move on from there. So that should get you through troubleshooting the water valve. Okay, there wasn't really a whole lot of troubleshooting in this one, so I'm going to show you how to remove this water valve. So let's go ahead and snap off the connections here. Now the machine is unplugged from the wall. Now once you get the wires undone, you still have this other little wire here. Pry him out. And we have one little hose clamp here. We're not going to take that off just yet. Alright, so on top of the valve there's a 1/4 inch screw. We're going to go ahead and take that out. Once the screw's out, you lift up on the valve and it comes through the machine. Alright, now that we got the valve out of the machine, we can remove the hose clamp. Slide that up. And then take it apart. And that's what the water valve looks like when it's removed. Alright, so there was some water valve troubleshooting for you. So between your water valve and your pressure switch, you should be able to diagnose your washer if it's not filling. Now real quick, on a washer that overfills, most of the time it's caused from the pressure switch. So make sure you watch that video in the description when troubleshooting the pressure switch. But you could also have a solenoid inside your water valve. Just basically it's just two solenoids. Let the water, they open and close, let the water in. They could be stuck open. So when you pull the plug and the water still comes in your washer, the water valve's bad, okay? If you pull the plug on the washer and then the water stops, then you want to start going into checking the pressure switch, because that may be the issue. Pressure switch or the hose going down to the bottom of the tub. So I hope that video helps you out along with the pressure switch video. So I want to thank you guys for watching. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, go ahead and do that now. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up. If you dislike the video, you can dislike the video if you'd like. Leave some comments in the comment section. And again, thanks for watching.